The sun beat down on the dusty training grounds of the Riverside Police K-9 unit as Sheriff Tom Bradley watched another handler back away from the aggressive German Shepherd. At 62, Tom had seen plenty of difficult dogs in his 30 years running the program. But Rex was different. Rex was dangerous. "That's the fourth handler this month," Deputy Miller said, shaking his head as he leaned against a wooden fence. The other officers stood nearby, their faces a mixture of frustration and defeat. Rex paced in the training ring, his teeth bared, growling low in his throat. The 3-year-old shepherd had been rescued from an abusive situation 6 months earlier. Every attempt to train him had ended the same way, with someone nearly getting bitten and Rex becoming more aggressive. "We can't keep him, Tom," Deputy Harrison said quietly. "He's too far gone. The department wants him put down by end of week if nothing changes." Tom felt his chest tighten. He had never given up on a dog before, but Rex seemed beyond help. The animal had been beaten and starved, left chained in a yard for years. The scars ran deeper than anyone could reach. "Give me until Friday," Tom said, though he had no idea what else would be done. That afternoon, as Tom sat in his office reviewing Rex's file for the 100th time, he heard a small voice outside his window. "Excuse me, mister, is this the police dog place?" Tom looked up to see a little girl standing at the fence, her blonde ponytail catching the sunlight. She wore a red plaid shirt and carried a small backpack. She couldn't have been more than 7 years old. Tom stepped outside quickly. "Sweetheart, where are your parents? You shouldn't be here alone." "My grandpa's truck broke down up the road," she said, pointing. "He's waiting for the tow truck. He said I could walk around but stay where he can see me. Are those police dogs?" "They are," Tom said gently. "But this isn't a safe place for children. These dogs are being trained, and some of them can be dangerous." The girl's eyes widened with interest rather than fear. "My name is Lily. I love dogs. We had one back home before Mama got sick, and we had to move in with Grandpa." Something in her voice made Tom pause. That particular sadness of a child who had already learned that life could be hard. "I'm Sheriff Bradley," he said. "You can call me Sheriff Tom." Before he could say more, a commotion erupted from the training ring. Rex had somehow gotten loose from his kennel. The German shepherd burst into the open yard, and the officers scrambled to contain him. "Everyone stay back," Tom commanded, moving protectively in front of Lily. But Lily didn't move behind him. Instead, she did something that made Tom's heart stop. She walked calmly toward Rex. "Lily, no." Tom reached for her, but she was already several steps away. Rex saw her coming and his body went rigid. His lips pulled back from his teeth. A growl rumbled from deep in his chest. The officers froze, afraid any sudden movement would trigger an attack. Lily stopped about 10 feet from Rex. Then she did something shocking. She sat down in the dust, crossed her legs, and began talking in a soft, steady voice. "Hi there, big guy," she said quietly. "You look scared. I get scared sometimes, too. When my mama was in the hospital, I was scared every single day." Rex's growling faltered. His ears twitched forward slightly. "People can be really mean sometimes," Lily continued, her voice carrying across the silent yard. "They hurt you when they should be nice. That's not fair. You didn't deserve that." Tom wanted to rush forward and grab Lily to safety, but something told him to wait. The other officer stood motionless, barely breathing. "I'm not going to hurt you," Lily said, "and I'm not afraid of you. Well, maybe a little bit, but mostly I just think you're sad. And maybe you don't know that some people can be good." Rex took a tentative step forward, then another. His body was still tense, but the aggressive posture had softened slightly. Lily slowly reached into her backpack and pulled out a sandwich wrapped in paper. "I have half a peanut butter sandwich. Grandpa made it this morning. Would you like some? You look hungry." She carefully unwrapped it and placed it on the ground in front of her, then scooted back a few feet. Rex approached cautiously, his eyes never leaving Lily. He sniffed the sandwich, then looked back at the girl. Something passed between them in that moment, some understanding that transcended words. Rex ate the sandwich slowly, and when he finished, he sat down. Lily smiled. See? That wasn't so bad. Sometimes all we need is someone to be kind to us, even when we're not being very kind ourselves. She extended her hand slowly, palm down, the way someone who understands dogs would do. You can sniff my hand if you want. No pressure. Tom held his breath as Rex leaned forward and sniffed Lily's small hand. Then, in a moment that Tom would remember for the rest of his life, Rex gently licked her fingers. Lily laughed softly. You're not mean at all. You're just hurt, but you're going to be okay now. Over the next 30 minutes, while Lily's grandfather arrived and gave permission for her to stay, the officers watched something miraculous unfold. Lily sat with Rex, talking to him about her mother, about moving, about missing her old home. And Rex listened, gradually moving closer until he was lying beside her. When Lily finally stood to leave, Rex whined softly. I'll come back tomorrow if Sheriff Tom says it's okay, she promised, looking at Tom with hopeful eyes. Tom nodded, too moved to speak. For the next 2 weeks, Lily visited every afternoon. Under her patient, gentle guidance, Rex began to transform. She never forced him, never rushed him. She simply sat with him, talked to him, and showed him that not all humans meant harm. By Friday, Rex was taking commands from Tom. By the following month, he had been successfully paired with Deputy Miller and was beginning formal police training. He never became an easy dog, but he learned to trust again. Years later, Rex would become one of the department's most decorated K-9 officers, credited with saving 3 lives and helping solve dozens of cases. But Tom never forgot the real miracle. A 7-year-old girl with a broken heart of her own who had seen past the anger and fear to the wounded soul beneath. She had understood something the trained professionals had missed. Sometimes the most powerful force in the world is not strength or expertise. Sometimes it is simply the gentle kindness of someone who knows what it feels like to hurt and offers understanding instead of judgment. Lily taught them all that healing is not about dominating or controlling. It is about sitting in the dust with someone and saying, I see your pain, and you are not alone.